It happens every day in every jurisdiction.
Lee County to Charlie 13. Suspicious person, possibly intoxicated.
You've probably been out with the same person for the same reason time and time again with the same resolution. Paperwork, medical clearance, and off to the jail. Now there's an alternative, a way to minimize your time off of the street and diminish the likelihood you'll encounter this person under the same circumstances. It's the Lee County Triage Low Demand Shelter. This pre-arrest jail diversion program is fast becoming a popular solution to the scenarios we'll be describing over the next few minutes. With jail population at or over capacity, adding more inmates for crimes such as loitering, trespass, or open containers only increase costs and time investment by corrections and law enforcement officers alike. The Triage Center provides a viable option and is available to all area law enforcement agencies. The Triage Center is located at 2789 Ortiz Avenue in Fort Myers on the Ruth Cooper campus of Lee Mental Health. Individuals who qualify as candidates to enter this voluntary program may be experiencing a behavioral health issue or are homeless. They are most likely at risk of being charged with a minor ordinance violation or nonviolent offense. These subjects are the exact reason the Triage Center has been established as an alternative to incarceration. Naturally, before offering this person the opportunity to participate in the program, you should ensure the person is 1. Not wanted on outstanding warrants, 2. Does not need immediate medical attention, 3. Does not meet Baker Act criteria, and 4. Is not too intoxicated to make an informed consent to transport. If none of the preceding apply, then you can consider diverting this person to the low-demand shelter rather than to jail on charges such as open container, disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, loitering, trespassing, or a marksman act.
Well, the Triage Center is really out there for your availability on those reoccurring arrest or nuisance calls, whether it be citation or arrest. In lieu of that, taking someone out to the Triage Center is probably serves you better and also serves them better. Recycling through our system is time-consuming for you and much more costly than the use of the Triage Center.
The Triage Center Low Demand Shelter is not a secured facility and can only accept individuals on a voluntary basis. It's important to note again, this location and program is not to be used in lieu of VISTA, the Baker Act receiving facility. Triage Center admittance is an alternative to arrest or citation, not in addition to them. Now on to other benefits of this program, ones you'll certainly prefer: saving time, reducing paperwork, and getting you back on the street. Once the subject has agreed to participate, transport the individual to the Triage Center. Bring along their belongings. There is storage space available. On arrival, you'll meet with the intake staff and complete a very brief, user-friendly form. Fill in the subject's name and simply check off the boxes that apply. This takes an average of less than 5 minutes to complete. Your obligation to the center is now complete, and you're on your way. Please be sure to check if your agency will require any further documentation of the transport to the Triage Center. After your departure, the Triage Center staff begins their service to the client. The center offers in-depth nursing and psychosocial assessments. The person must be able to safely stay at the center and is administered a breathalyzer if necessary. Again, this is after you're back on the road. Following a satisfactory nursing assessment, the person enters the low-demand shelter component. The average length of stay at the shelter is 21 days, during which the staff attempts to link the individual with appropriate community treatment and services. Here, a Fort Myers police officer encounters a homeless person loitering at a park bench. After some discussion, the person agrees to transport to the Triage Center. Remember, this is a voluntary transport, and the person must be willing to be admitted. The officer in this case used his discretion and opted to offer the opportunity to go to the Triage Center instead of an arrest for open container, instead of a citation for loitering, instead of going to the ER for medical clearance for a marksman act. I'm sure you're seeing the advantages to this diversion program. Surveys of law enforcement members who have utilized the Triage Center reveal 95% are satisfied to highly satisfied with the Triage Center process. In just the first 9 months, 341 entries were documented. Statistical analysis during this period also shows clients with prior Lee County arrests reduced the number of days spent in jails by 55% when diverted to the Triage Center. Because the center provides access to assessment, shelter, resources, and treatment for people who would have otherwise been left on the streets or incarcerated, more than 75% of the clients were successfully linked with resources. 27% were placed in housing or a residential treatment program. This scene depicts officers who encounter people in alternative living styles, in this case, a homeless camp. They have evaluated this person as intoxicated and homeless, but not in need of emergency medical assistance. After a short discussion, the individual agrees to transport to the Triage Center, where their staff will evaluate his level of intoxication. Others at the camp were informed of the opportunity available at the Triage Center, too.
And I was sitting on the bench, and Don and Kevin come up and asked me if I'd like to get off the street, and so 4 o'clock that evening, they loaded me up in my bike, and they took me out to the Triage, and like I was there 42 days before I got my apartment. Yeah, I really enjoyed being there. And I got my apartment, naturally, because I got my VA pension, and then so I'm just totally off the street. Yeah, you get your birth certificate, and then they take you over, you get your ID and your Social Security card, and yeah, they set you up with all your IDs. Yeah, if you don't have any IDs, I mean, you're virtually lost, okay? I mean, you can't do anything. I mean, if you go look for a job, you got to present your IDs, you know. Like me, I'm DD-214, you know, and then your birth certificate, and then your, picture ID and your Social Security card, you know. I mean, it looks better if you have something to present to a person when you're going to go find a job, okay? And then plus your resume, you know, what skills you have and all that. And, you know, they help you do all of that.
Just want to remind you that when you became a police officer and during that interview process that we all go through, I'm sure that you, one of the things that you counted on heavily and truly believed was that you were going to be of help to people out in the community. Many times the people that you come in contact with are not able to help themselves. They've gotten themselves into predicament after predicament, and you have that opportunity to break that cycle and allow them to receive services that they really need. It's less time consuming for you. It doesn't clog up the system, the criminal system, and gets them back on the right track. I guess more importantly, it's just the right thing to do.
We hope you'll join your fellow law enforcement officers who are saving time and experiencing the benefits of the Lee County Triage Center. Thank you for watching. For hours of operation or more information, please call 239-791-0110. That's 791-0110.